Okay, so today I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about earnest money. What is earnest money? Earnest money is the deposit you put down when you purchase a house. Some people call it earnest money, some people call it deposit. Depends on the state you're in, but basically it's about 1% of the purchase price of the house. Of course, that can change. It could be less, or it could be way more in the case of multiple offer situations. I've seen earnest monies as much as 50% of the purchase price when we're in a competitive market with multiple offer situations, but the norm is about 1%. So also, some things to know about earnest money is that a lot of people don't really know that it counts towards the cost of the house. I always get the question, so I put down my $10,000 earnest money. Do I have to still come up with the full purchase price of the house? No, that goes towards your deposit if you're getting a house financed, or it goes towards the purchase price if you're paying in cash, depends on your situation. But the earnest money always counts towards the price of the house. Also, I always get the question, can my earnest money be lost? And the answer is, typically, no. I've never lost a client any earnest money because I always put in enough protections and I give them enough information, and I'm always protecting them against losing any money. But it can happen. If you decide to back out of the contract towards the end, after all your contingencies have been met, then you can possibly lose your earnest money. And the reason why is because if the seller is willing to work with you and takes all this time off market, and then all of a sudden at the last minute you decide, I don't want the house, they should be paid for their lost time. So if you have any questions about that, please give me a call at any time. Another quick thing to note, after you decide to purchase the house and you and the seller are at mutual acceptance, which means you're both agreeing on all the terms, typically your real estate broker has 2 business days to deposit the earnest money into an escrow account. An escrow account is kind of like a bank account. It's an escrow company, and they're typically the same ones that will do the closing. There's special situations, 1031 exchanges and things like that, which I'll talk to you about on a different email. But typically 2 days, you give the check to your agent, and the agent has to give that to the escrow company. The escrow company holds it, and then typically in about 30 days or sometimes 45 days, sometimes less, the escrow company will close the deal. And these days you don't usually go in person, but I always like for my clients to come in person. I go with them in case there's any questions that need to be asked. You do all your signing in person, and at that time the deal will close, and the escrow company will give the seller your check for the full amount of the purchase price, or your wire, depending on how you do it. And you, after the house records with the state, then you get your keys and you own a new home. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to call me anytime. Talk to you later.